In 57 previous games they've ever met in a cup quarter-final. Pretty extraordinary stat that, given these two core sides since the inaugural season in 1999. Kayvon Williams captains the USA. Perry Baker looks like he might be coming back to some form. Look out for Epé and Sefo for France on the edge. They are new recruits and they've got lots to offer. Les Bleus on the left of shot. Run out onto the Sevens Stadium, led by Pauline Riva, the captain, and Kayvon Williams leads out the USA and white. There's Stevie Thomasine, their leading point scorer. 34 points yesterday, including 4 tries. Rob Vickerman alongside me for this one. On balance of what you've seen so far this weekend, tough to call perhaps.
Yeah, certainly is. Certainly like Sefo marauding around this pitch before this one starts. As you mentioned, USA, much history over the French. 11 out of the last 12. Referee going to be on point here, as Mike Friday is already asking questions about how the interpretations will be for this USA team.
Yeah, both these teams 2 from 3 in pool play. For France, it was their big opening win against Fiji that really set them up for this cup quarter-final run. USA wins over Canada and Kenya, lost to Australia in their final game, and Perry Baker, well, he was the man who scored the winner against Kenya. And he enjoyed that, showed the crowd that he wants to get back to his World Sevens Player of the Year status. Palau Niua gets this cup quarter-final underway. Marvin O'Connor, the French-born Aussie heritage player in this French team. Pierre Mignot from Grenoble, but here's a neat sneak from Nelson Epé round the outside. Nelson Epé, the Toulouse flyer, 2 tries yesterday, and he started this quarter-final with a bang.
Well, alongside Sefo, this young man Epé is another one of these very exciting French stars. The pace he possesses, 5'6", makes him one of the most diminutive players on this French team, but that pace was there for all to see.
Yeah, really good start for France. That'll keep the doubters quiet. We can go sideline now and hear from the USA Eagles head coach, Mike Friday. Mike, what did you make of that start?
Yeah, I mean, we know he's dangerous. We know he's got good feet, great acceleration, and he just spotted Logan just slightly behind the ruck rather than where he should have been, and fair play, he exploited it. So credit to them, good start. We've got to get the ball, we've got to keep it. That's going to be the key to this game. Possession, who can control possession, can control the tempo of the game, hopefully get our runners away, and then we'll be in a good position to compete with them.
Yeah, Perry Baker just involved in that breakdown there. He looked like yesterday he might be getting back to his old self. Have you been impressed with him so far?
Yeah, he's doing well. He's doing well. He's finding his feet, and we just need to, maintain possession. And he's starting to get some space. If we can find that space, we're in a good place. They're off their feet there. Thank you, sir.
Not like you to comment on referees there, Mike.
I've been wanting one of these decisions all weekend. I finally got one.
Now. You finally got one. One thing you were mentioning before about this emotion of the team as well, quite monumental weekend perhaps for some of these players. How are you managing that one?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, there's lots of individual emotions, but ultimately you've got to put that to one side. They've got to focus on the team first and trying to do their job. And that's hard, but that's the trials and tribulations of playing sevens, because if you're slightly off emotionally, then this game punches you in the face.
Mike, just want to ask you about the cowboy hat you got today. You've given away the bucket hat. Is this a superstition thing? What is it?
Well, this is the fact that the ginger skin on the back of the neck is starting to get a little bit red. So they've managed to give me a little bit more coverage with the straw hat.
Love it. Thanks, Mike. Always a pleasure. Appreciate your time.
Cheers.
Tackle.
Work to do for the USA Eagles. Stevie Thomasine. Here's Joe Schrader. So important these days for this USA Eagles side, with some of the familiar faces of the past, such as Pinkelman, having left the program. Hearing he's going to be returning, perhaps in a coaching capacity with USA Sevens Rugby alongside Mike Friday. Here is Schrader again. Up towards the French 10-metre line. Perry Baker breaches the ruck, makes sure he secures possession, and Thomasine Targo does well at scrum half. The rookie, former NFL player of the Seattle Seahawks is Baker. That cracking try against Kenya yesterday to help them get to this stage of the tournament. Niua. Targo again. Good left to right pass from him. Martin Yosefo celebrating 50 events on the series this weekend. That's a fine offload to Logan Targo. Little bit isolated, but they win the penalty, USA. Thomasine goes quickly. It's on for the Eagles here, looking to respond to the opening try from France. Niua over the top. Perry Baker skips through. And that's a very efficient score from the USA. That'll no doubt put a smile back on the face of Mike Friday.
Well, he'll already be smiling because that's 2 referee decisions he's got going his way. It was all about this breakdown. Hsbc, one of the best offloaders on the 7 series. Wonderful skill set, gets it off the Targo, and then this is interesting. No one from USA anywhere near that breakdown, but the referee deeming that it was in from the side. Big call and right decision in terms of the interpretation that he saw, and then Perry Baker back to doing what he does.
Yeah, good work from Logan Targo in the build-up, wasn't it? We should appreciate that. The young man, he's only been playing rugby 7s for a little while. Ex-Seattle Seahawks, just missed out on the NFL draft. Another crossover athlete, David Still, unavailable for the USA Eagles. We saw him at the Canada 7s. Perry Baker, he was a crossover athlete some time ago. Ended up being double World Rugby 7s Player of the Year. It can be done. 7 each, conversion successful. Niua. Baker on the chase. Logel. Perez. That's been knocked down by Baker, and he will head to the sideline. 2 minutes.
Give him time to sort his shirt out. It's a bit of a crop top at the moment there, Perry.
Like you last night at the concert.
Comment.
Yeah. Still got the sunglasses on. I see Rob Vickerman, just for the benefit of our viewers. You can't see us up here in the commentary box. Here's Marvin O'Connor.
I'm under a bus at the moment.
And here we go, Jordan Sefo, 2 tries yesterday, tries to get round the outside of Targo. They do well to keep that ball in field and in possession, but then the mistake from Perez. Was that a knock-on? USA think so. Referee doesn't. France will take it. They carry on. The captain, Riva. Mignot. He's got a bit of space to work with. Epe, the danger man. Oh, he waited on the pass. Did Pierre Mignot. And Nelson Epe has his 2nd score.
Love how this guy's just hanging out wide, sensing that chance and opportunity, and then just put it on the burners. Nelson Epe, a growing reputation. That's the error. And then Mignot, that angled run. Trader has to make a call. He steps in. And then Hsbc can't get near D'Artagnan.
Conversion from right in front. So 14, yeah, Nelson Epe played in the under-26 nations. This year as a winger, scored a hat-trick against England and one against Italy. So France are really getting their act together across all their programs about developing young players. We saw what the 15-a-side men did to the All Blacks in Paris a couple of weeks ago. What a night that was.
Was indeed. I saw that under-20s game. There were actually back three for the French, who I thought perfectly suited to the 7s game, and that's only going to help their development in 15s as well.
So again, the Eagles will need to find a way back here. Down by 7, clock's in the red. Final play of the first half. Martin Yosefo potentially playing in his last Cup quarter-final in his distinguished 7s career if they can't get a result here. And that's gone over the sideline, so it will remain 7 points the difference at the break. 2 first-half tries to Nelson Epe. France lead the USA 14-7. France stuck in the big ones. Worked hard for their lead in that first half. Had the 2 first half tries.
Si on veut à la demi, il faut la chercher. Ils vont rien nous laisser, les gars. Là, on remet les compteurs à 0. Ils vont rien nous laisser. Donc là, on a remis 2 essais. 3, 4. On n'arrête pas. On n'arrête pas.
All right? You're going to work hard from the inside on speed and threes. When we get an opportunity, let's go at them. Okay? Go at their big men. Go at the yards. Go at them. Use your feet and go at them. Use your speed when we isolate them. Okay? Physicality is going to be crucial in the breakdown. We've got to get our second man there quickly to control the ball. Drop your windows, get your levers right, so they've got nothing to hit. Okay? Sink, hold, absorb, and then grab the man to anchor. Then we can play the ball away. Let's play smart. Control the ball, control the pace of the game, we'll be in a good place. Okay? Don't panic. They get the ball back the first time, trust your team, you'll get your opportunity.
All right, let's go, boys. Try to bounce in the box, too. Just keep working hard. Here we go. Finish on 3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
All right, let's go. Just come. Lucas.
Go, boys. Yeah?
Up close and personal with Mike Friday in the USA huddle, and the French, Pauline Riva, doing the talking for them. Friday, his team's down by 7. He knows how crucial these 7 minutes are. Perry Baker score in the first half, but a yellow card as well. France picked up the 2 tries with the second try when they were down 2-6. Fans enjoying this one. A little after 10:30 in the morning local time here.
Ready?
South Africa and Kenya coming up in quarterfinal number 4. Perez gets us restarted. Jumping all alone is Thomason, usually lifted. Niu managed to bring the ball down. Williams, Schrader, Targo. Mike Friday said at halftime he wants to take them on. He wants to miss matches. He wants to attack their big men.
It's a nice mix of technical and tactical from Mike Friday, talking about the wider points of what they need to do, but then the finer points about how technically they need to be really accurate in that breakdown area. But it comes through that physicality of the likes of Targo taking them on. The French, the biggest they've been in many years, but this guy is a different breed.
Yeah, Logan Targo, Seattle Seahawk, links up with the Utah Warriors and MLR. France's only victory against the USA across the last 4.5 years came in a cup semi-final, Vancouver 2019. Rare wins of late against the USA. They have a 7-point lead here. Kayvon Williams, Niua, Schrader, Targo again. Needs to stay in field. Lost his geography a couple of times yesterday, the rugby rookie. Another decision goes the USA's way. All those visits to the referee's box for Mike Friday bearing fruit so far in this game.
Well, it seems to be lobbying, I think you could say it is, but absolutely right, the decisions that have been made, and it's because the USA are taking it forward. They're winning that collision again, the likes of Targo using that frame, which does help physically. And now, interesting decision for the scrum. Had the penalty option, could have kicked for the touchline, gone for this reset, pretty much guaranteed with the size of these props. But then it's about how you use Williams, what lines you're going to do, and look who's out wide loitering, Perry Baker.
Yeah, Perry Baker got the start here ahead of Carl Niles. Carl Niles has 15 series tries against France in his career. That's the joint most in this fixture. And here is Perry Baker, given an opportunity. Skips inside, put to the floor. France go in for the turnover and they win it. And here's that man, Epé, again. He's looking for a hat-trick. Look at him go. Nelson is Mr. Nitro in Dubai. A triple in the quarter-final.
Well, as you mentioned, set alight that Six Nations campaign, along with Chapche alongside him. But this is just wheels, keeps the ball in the wrong arm technically, but doesn't care because he just backs his pace. Williams, we've seen how fast he is on the series, but this is all about Nelson Epé, as sharp as his name. Fantastic score from him.
20 years of age, debut last weekend. The bench understand the significance of that score. Très bon, Nelson Epé. Ball's gone forward. Off the restart, it came off Fualau, who's off the bench for the USA. So France have possession again. USA really up against it now. 3:30 to go, 2 maximum scores behind. Truabal, he's off the bench for France, 21-year-old. Here's O'Connor. Sefo to his left, decided to ignore the speedster and come back this way as Joachim Truabal just slips under his own feet there, and then USA win the penalty. They really needed possession there, they got it.
Yeah, and it came from that one area Mike Friday was talking about, contestable. Now they've got to use it.
Matai Leuta, this will be his last event as well in a USA Sevens rugby shirt. He doesn't want to go out at the quarterfinal stage. Oh, that's an error from Carlin Isles. Brought off the bench to make the impact. That was not what he was looking for.
He found himself at the base of the contact. This is such a hard area of sevens. It's such a messy place to be. You've got to get your hands on the ball. You've got to clear it. Initially went backwards. His second nibble, he knows full well it went forward, and that was chance for him to get the rapture of this crowd.
He just had a look, didn't he? You saw the eyes flick up just as he tried to pick the ball up. Any kids watching at home, keep your eye on the prize. First things first, pick up the ball, then have a look what's next.
Set.
Halfway line scrum for France, 21-7 they lead, in control. Clock against the USA.
Got it.
Approaching the final 2 minutes of this game. Oh, that's a lovely ball. And running onto it is Ryan Rebage under the post. And that could well be the try that puts Les Bleus in the last 4.
Oh, don't they know it as well? Yet another one off the rank. Big, strong, physical, fast presence. Les Bleus, long since wanting to achieve levels in a sevens tournament, looking likely, and it's one of their favourite grounds to do so. Finalists many moons ago out here in Dubai, they know what it takes to get there, and it's from performances like this.
France have not reached a cup semi-final here since 2012. It has been a long time between semi-final drinks for this French Sevens team. This is a significant result for them.
Yeah, they actually got to the final that year, unfortunately didn't win it. But this is the type of standards they need to set now. The confidence is fine, and when you get that in the French team, that can be really exciting to watch.
So a minute to go. Huge mountain to climb now for the USA. Leuta, Isles, trying to get in and away. Carlin Isles, he's well marshalled. Fualau to Lecamp. And with the French name playing for the USA. And this is the first we've seen of him in this match. Perhaps we could have seen Lucas Lecamp a little earlier.
You always got to balance those decisions as a coach. When do you bring them on? When do you give them chance? He certainly do himself a lot of favours going forward, but you feel at this point in the game, too little too late. Even with Thomasin's sharp shooting ability with the boot, we're down to the last 10 seconds of this game, and the French have took the headline.
Time off. Water off.
So Australia, Argentina already through in the top side of the draw to the semi-final. South Africa coming up next against Kenya, and it looks like it'll be France into the semi-final to play one of the African sides. That's the final siren.
Back off, Blue.
Schrader still working. Guha will complete this one for France. They have been excellent in the quarterfinal. They dispatched the USA. This Les Bleus team are really doing good things on sevens right now. They've won this by 28 points to 12. Well, we've been wanting France, Rob Vickerman, to really use all the talent in French rugby to help their sevens program. That's about as good as I've seen them play in a long time.
Yeah, and what I like about it is the young under-20s. That, for me, is the progression. Epé, the star of the show, under-20 Six Nations, outstanding campaigner, as was Hsbc, and they have brought them into this environment. It's only going to make them better in 15s, but more importantly, we're seeing their ability in the game of sevens. How good is it to get Les Bleus showing the world what they can do in sevens?
Yeah. High fives all round for Les Bleus. Looks like we can go sideline now where Stephen Perez is with Hugh Carl.